Your mind will try to live in the past or escape to the future, but the only real power you have over your life is in the now. So whenever I started doing martial arts, I used to always be thinking, once I pass this grade, I'll do the next grade. Once I pass it, I'll do the next one. I was constantly thinking about the future, where I was going to be at. And then whenever I was grading for my next form, I'd be thinking about the past. I'll remember the way you were stressed that time. Remember the way you weren't really focused the day before. And then when it came to the actual day, I wasn't very good at school, so I didn't do exams or study or anything like that. So I guess I didn't have that, I couldn't think back and use my past experience there. So then on the day, I was like cramming all of the information and the techniques, thinking about them, trying to practice them before I went out and actually performed for my grading. The only time I didn't get to do that was the time the two guys tried to mug me because I ran out of time. But when I look back now, for the last 20 years, I've still been studying this martial art, but I really focus on the fundamentals, the stance work, the positions of the body, the movements, and the connection, the body-mind connection I'm trying to create. Like in the Sum Chen is the 3 wars. It's the form I've been practicing the most for the last 20 years. And it's mind, body, spirit. Those are the 3 wars, and you're trying to connect all of those. And I look back and I think, fuck, I didn't enjoy any of that. I didn't take time out to be in the moment, to actually be present. I focused on what I should be doing to get to the future and what I shouldn't have done in the past. So the problem with the way that a lot of people work is they look at their past negatively. Look at the actions that got me here. I shouldn't have done that or shouldn't have done this. We're very good at overlooking positives. And then we look at the future and we have a wee bit of a want and a hope and a dream, but it's overshadowed by our imagined expectation based on our failed past. This dream and hopes aren't going to work out because you're already fucked up before, already tried this, it's not going to work. So the older I've got, the more I've studied, the more I've meditated, the more I realize that when you focus on what you can do now, so what can I do now to help me get to where I want to go to? So obviously you have to look at where you want to get to. I'm not saying you should just live in the now and forget all the lessons and forget the future pacing. You want a future pace, think about your lessons, but then bring yourself back to presence, to now. And what can I do now today that's going to help me to get to wherever it is that I want to get to? So I wrote down here that most people aren't living, they're remembering or rehearsing. And I like to think of it that way rather than just thinking, oh, they're either living in the past or they're living in the future. They're remembering everything that's went on and then rehearsing the past. But if you remember and then rehearse, you're going to, practice doesn't make permanent, or practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. You're remembering, so you're practicing all those memories, all that emotion, you're firing the same neural pathways, and then you rehearse how the future's going to like. The last time I did this, I didn't do very well at it. So instead of living there, you want to connect to your presence, your intuition. Like, where am I now? When you connect to your intuition, it's just a good way of zoning in on the now. Your intuition doesn't live in the past, doesn't live in the future, it lives in the now. It's a gut feeling. How do I feel right now? Is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? How the fuck do I feel now about it? And then when you are in the presence, feeling how you actually feel in the moment, then you can make changes. If it doesn't feel good, go a different direction. If it feels like it's going to be good, double down on it. If you're not sure, meditate on it. But if you're flitting between the past and the future, then you don't really have any power or strength to make any changes. So if you're always elsewhere, your life will never feel like it's yours. So I've had so many clients over the years that would have poor me parties. They would blame other people. They would be like, it's not my fault I'm this way. It was my family or my friends or the abuse or the bad relationship or school or fucking the Easter Bunny. It was always someone else's fault, and the reason that was because they didn't feel like they were living their life. They were living in the past, living in the future. The past was shit, the future's going to be worse, so then they get stuck and they don't just settle in between. Probably because settling in the present, in the now, is hard, because then you have to admit where you are. Are you being successful? Are you physically, mentally, emotionally happy and strong? Is your business going the way you want it to go? Or are you still looking at, oh, next quarter will be better, so don't really need to worry about this one, and then you just keep steamrolling that and pushing problems forward until eventually they all crash around you. So this is the action that I want you to take this week. So the presence drill. So do it. If you do it all week, that will be amazing. But even if you just try to take a day initially, start with a day, and then if you don't get through the day, just start with another day until you eventually do a full day. For one full day, use your breath as an anchor. So breathe. Remember to breathe and just bring yourself back to the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. When you focus on your breath, then you're present. It's just such a simple anchor to create. And just like, you can set reminders on your phone or whatever, but just check your posture. Slow yourself down, speak slower, be more intentional about everything that you're doing. So check in with yourself. Use your breath to anchor yourself, to your presence, to now. Check your posture, check your breathing, check how fast you've been thinking, even if it's internally, or the chattering monkeys taking over and going 100 miles an hour. Just check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself, check in with yourself, check in with your presence, go for your breath, and just notice like where your mind pulls you, and then don't run away from that. Just sit with it and allow yourself to deal with it in the present state, in the present mind now. So that's your goal for this week, the presence drill. Let me know how you get on with it, if you like. And I just wrote here as a wee quote at the bottom: you can't lead your life from the past, and you can't train for a future that doesn't exist yet. You can train towards the future, but you can't train for one that doesn't exist, because it doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. So if you're training for a specific thing, that might not happen. You might branch off somewhere else. So you can't lead your life from the past, and you can't train for a future that doesn't exist yet. So return to the now. That's where the real work begins. So let me know how you get on with the present drill. Have a super awesome day, whatever you get up to, and I'll speak to you again soon.